My friends, your eyes do not deceive you. This is not modded Minecraft. This is 1.16 the Nether update, and we have the very first snapshot, which includes a fancy new set of armor. This, my friends, is gonna be amazing. Over here on the official Minecraft website, you can see that Snapshot 20w06a has been released, the first of 1.6 the Nether update. And all I can say is there is a crazy amount of stuff inside of this one. Even the bug fixes are interesting. There's some changes to redstone, but of course you're probably here to learn about the Nether update. So as you can see, there are lots of new blocks, new armor, and even new mobs, and I'm going to introduce you to all of it. But first of all, we're going to have a little scenic journey around some of the new biomes that have been added in this update. There are 3 of them in total, and there could be more getting added in the future. Now the first thing I want to do is give myself night vision, so the nether becomes bright and visible. And also, we're currently in the Nether Wastes, which is what the original Nether biome has been renamed to. I want to show you the game's ability to have 3D biomes, okay? When I go downwards, we're going to go into a different biome, which changes the tint of the sky behind us. We are now inside of the Warped Forest. There is also the Soulsand Valley, and right next door, the Crimson Forest. And as you can see currently, the sky changes immediately. Hopefully that's something they'll be changing in the future. And just in case you are wondering, nether fortresses generate like normal, and they can actually generate inside of these different biomes. The first biome we're going to check out is the Soulsand Valley. And when exploring the nether, I've had this suspicion that certain mobs now like to spawn in certain biomes. And there are a lot of ghasts right here. And I also noticed a lot of skeletons in this biome as well. Yes, clearly ghasts and both skeletons like spawning in this biome, just like that one there. And that one over there. It's spawning really fast. This is kind of crazy. So I've spent a fair amount of time flying around checking out the terrain of this Soulsand Valley, and I've got to say it really does feel like regular nether terrain. It doesn't feel all that different from the way the nether would normally generate. However, there are now 2 types of material covering this. Not only do we have the familiar soul sand, we also have soul soil as well, a similar texture. However, this one can be set on fire, and when you do that, the colour of the fire is blue, my friends. However, feature request Mojang, I would like to burn blue. And yeah, of course I need to be in survival mode to show you me burning red on the blue fire. And as it says on the blog post, you'll be able to find the fossil remains of unknown creatures from the past. Going through the Soulsand Valley, you're going to find plenty of bone blocks, and occasionally some of them are a little bit floaty. In these Soulsand Valleys, you're also going to find a new type of block known as Basalt. It tends to come from the ceiling and find its way down to the ground, where it then spreads out. This is the top texture, this is the side texture right here, and currently it can't be crafted into anything else at all. If we go into here and search for Basalt, you'll see that's it. Can't be used to create anything else at the moment. And last of all, each of the biomes has its own particle effect. This one is Falling Ash. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see that effect. It's got a real nice ambience. Of course, video compression means that it might not turn up, but each of the biomes has one of these effects. Our next biome is the Warped Forest, and if we just zoom in on me for a second, you might be able to see the particle effects. These are known as warped spores, and they are swirling through the air. And there is a fog that is pink. However, if I were to clear my night vision, you can see it's actually dark blue when you see it normally, and then when you use night vision, it turns to this bright pink colour. Now this biome looks absolutely crazy. It must be so much fun to explore this stuff in survival mode. Of course, I'm checking it out in creative, and as I fly around here, I notice that Endermen seem to spawn very fondly inside of this biome, and there is a lot going on down here. We have this warped Nilium. I could potentially be saying that incorrect, so feel free to moan at me in the comments. But anyway, we have warped roots, we have nether sprouts, over here, warped fungi, warped stem, and yeah, that's right, that's a log. There is wood planks and 2 new types of wood in this update. We, my friends, will be going through all the blocks individually later on in this video. As we explore together here, you'll see that there is a new type of light source that is not a retextured glowstone. That is known as shroom light, and it's what lights up this biome right here. This is also noted in the changelog as a very peaceful biome, and I've got to say, as I'm hanging out here, it certainly feels like it. Again, the only mob that we really see inside of this biome is the Enderman, so it might be one of the more peaceful places to visit in the new Nether. Our next biome is essentially the twin of the warped forest that we just checked out. This is the Crimson Forest, and around me you can see the crimson spores swirling through the air. And there is also a dark red tint here, but it's kind of hard to see because you're surrounded by reddish textures. So let's throw on the night vision, and then it becomes a lot more obvious. Just like the warped forest, this is home to Nilium down here, Crimson Nilium. There's also Crimson Roots. It's got its own fungi, the Crimson Fungi. I noticed though that warped fungi generated in here as well. And oh yeah, these blocks that look like nether warp blocks, they're actually nether warp blocks. The ones in the other biome though were their own type of warped block. Over here though, we also have some vines hanging down, weeping vines. These generate uniquely in this biome but not in the other one. This biome is also home to the new mob known as the Hoglin, and we're going to learn more about this later on. It's also home to zombie pigment as well, so these two types of mobs you'll find commonly spawning in the Crimson Forest. Now that we've seen the 3 new biomes, I want to comment on their rarity. It seems like the Soulsand Valley is less common than the 2 types of forest, and then regular nether terrain is actually tricky to find. I've been flying around in this nether for a long time, and it does feel like for the most part it is dominated by the new biomes, with bits of the original nether sort of stuck in between, like where we are at the moment. But these biomes are massive, they stretch on for ages sometimes, and all in all it feels like the nether is so much more interesting, and I am loving all of these new features. Now these new biomes have prompted the Mojang devs to add something technical, which I think you're really going to like. It is the locate biome command, and as you can see there is a list of all the different biomes. If I try and locate the Badlands, that doesn't exist in the Nether. So let's type in Crimson Forest, and it tells us how far to go. It can also teleport us there if we click, which is just fantastic. Now this is especially useful if you're playing in creative and you want to go check out pandas or some other feature that you haven't seen before. You can now use this to locate whatever biome you like. Of course it works in all dimensions is the point. And there we go, bamboo forest. So those are the new biomes, but we're not done in the Nether just yet because there is a new material. As you saw at the beginning of this video, I was wearing some new armour. And my friends, get ready to throw your diamonds in the lava because this material is going to be even better than diamonds itself. It is known as Netherite, and it is going to be able to make armor, weapons, and tools, and it is going to be ridiculously difficult to get as well. You have to find this stuff called ancient debris, and guess where it's located? It's located below the lava lakes. So as we plunge down below, you'll see, there it is, a couple of pieces of that ore. That's what we need to make the netherite. And I've got to say, just having a quick look around at other little deposits of lava under the ground like this, it's actually really, really rare. So we need to do some experimentation to find out where exactly this stuff generates. What we're going to do is use a command to replace netherrack around me with air. And I'm actually down here at the bottom of the nether itself, and this allows us to see how common this stuff is. So inside of this ginormous area, we've found a few pieces over here at this height, and lots of quartz. There's also one piece on its own here and there. And so I'm going to start clearing out this area, and we'll see how common it is. So quite a few minutes later, and I've been flying around trying to clear this stuff out, and I've learned a few things. First of all, it really is very rare. Now I've left in the nether quartz ore for comparison here, so you can see that it spawns way less frequently than quartz. And yeah, there's not a lot of it, and I've cleared out a really large area here. And the highest block that I could find was at Y20, so you're going to have to go on an absolute mission to get this stuff, and I reckon that mining below Y20 seems sensible. What approach you want to take though, I don't know. If you're going to go branch mining, it'll be a real grind. I reckon this stuff is probably less common than diamonds. Next up, I'm going to show you how we make this armor with the ancient debris, but I also quickly want to say if you're enjoying the video and you want to catch future snapshots around this update, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that button, and while you're there, leave a like if you want to support the video. So thank you for doing that. Let's now go ahead and mine this ancient debris. You'll see that it takes an age with a diamond pick. Of course, it's got no enchantments, but what I want to tell you is that it doesn't work with the iron pick or the gold pick. And also, you don't need Silk Touch to actually get the ancient debris. This is actually what you're going to smelt in your blast furnace, and one ancient debris will convert into one netherite scrap. Now, the reason I'm using a blast furnace is because it's treated like an ore, and so it will smelt in here faster. And once you've got 4 of those, you're going to need to combine it with 4 gold inside of a crafting bench, and that is how you make a netherite ingot. Now you can see we are able to make all of these things. A block of netherite will cost 9 of them. This has a gorgeous texture, and I actually think it's a real shame it's so expensive, as it would make a really nice building block on a large scale. But let's check out how we make the other things. You simply take your diamond item and put a netherite ingot directly next to it to then turn it into this type of tool. And if you've got enchantments on your diamond gear, that is unfortunately going to be lost when you craft it. Let's now do a comparison between these two types of material. The durability you can see has been increased by about 40 to 60 for each of the pieces of armor here. So not a massive difference, but you'll notice that there is knockback resistance on each piece of the netherite armor, and also the armor toughness is 1 higher than its diamond equivalent. Going over to the weapon though, we'll see the attack damage has been increased by 1, and there is over 500 extra durability, which is just a crazy amount extra. Now let's compare the tools as well. You'll see that basically there is that around 500 extra durability and +1 attack damage on each of these tools, making the netherite even better than diamond. But that's not all it's got going for it. This next feature is kind of crazy. I'm going to throw these items into the lava. And there it is. Moments later, you can see that these items don't get destroyed by lava. In fact, they hover. So if you're going to go exploring in the Nether and you die in a lava lake, these things are going to survive, which is just crazy. And they float. They float in lava. It also says in the changelog that you have a higher enchantment value with the netherite than you do diamonds. So this means the probability of getting good enchantments is slightly higher for this material. And if you didn't know, it's even better for golden materials as well. But of course gold isn't quite as useful. But anyway, it sits between the two, basically meaning it's a little bit better than diamonds when you're enchanting it. This, my friends, genuinely made me jump a moment ago when I turned around and saw there were things on top of the nether. Yes, very strange, but I am actually up here to test the mining speed of the new netherite pick. Now one day I'll probably be crunching the exact numbers on my myth busting series. I can tell you it's faster, but not by much. So we're just going to mine a couple of blocks here. You can see it's relatively slow, and then with the netherite pick, it's a tiny bit faster, but not by much. I'd say maybe 10% faster. This does mean there might be the possibility to instant mine new types of block. Unfortunately, logs isn't one of them, and neither is cobblestone. Both of these have efficiency 5, and I've got the haste 2 effect. And now I've found myself getting all sorts of distracted trying to find out what blocks can be instant mined. This is going to require some sort of myth busting. Anyway, if you find a new type of block that can be instant mined thanks to the netherite material, let me know in the comment down below. I'd appreciate that. But as of right now, I got to crack on with making the rest of this video. So we have a whole bunch of new blocks, and some that you haven't even seen in this video yet, and I've been investigating, figuring out how you break them, finding out what properties they have with the debug stick. So let's just get right into it. First of all, soul soil over here is broken with the shovel, and I'll point out you can move on it like a normal block. You don't get lowered into it like soul sand, and it doesn't actually slow you down either. That is an important distinction. Now, when it comes to the anilium that we have over here, it has some special properties that we'll see a little bit later on, but you can mine it just with a regular pickaxe. Now, we saw these log types in the nether. They're actually called stems, and you mine them with an axe, no surprise, and they are essentially just like logs, but they have this amazing, gorgeous animated texture, and you can turn them into planks, and you can strip the wood, and there's a whole bunch of variants over here, but I got distracted for a moment when I started to wonder, how do you get the warped warp block? Because this is crafted with nether wart. There is actually no recipe for this, but I'll show you how you get it later on. There's also no tool to mine it with either, which is the same with this shroomlight. That's the name of the block. Look, I'm just going to break it with my fist, and it just drops as a whole block. So here are the variants. You got your slabs, your stairs, your fence gates, buttons, pressure plates, all of that. I especially like this right here, the trapdoors. Really nice textures on them. That one's obviously similar to the cha-cha wood. And then the doors are gorgeous. Look at these textures. You could do something really evil with these, in my opinion. Then over here we have basalt, which can just be mined with a regular wooden pickaxe. That is the tool of choice. And these ones over here, all of these can actually be punched out. You don't need a tool to pick them up like shears. So that's the warped roots, the nether sprouts, the fungi, all of that stuff, including the vines up here, can be mined with your hand. And like kelp, this actually has growth stages up to 25. Okay, now onto the special stuff. Let's grab all of this. What we're going to do is take our crimson nilium and our warped nilium, and then simply just bone meal the block that's adjacent to it. And you can see you can spread it like that using bone meal, although it appears that that one has become the block of choice here. Now the fungi actually acts like a sapling for a tree. So if I go ahead and bone meal this, you can see we get a tree, and sometimes you get shroomlight in here as well. We didn't get it this time. There we go. This time we got some shroomlight with it. So those fungi can be used to farm the shroomlight. And the very last of our new blocks is this soulfire lantern, and then a soulfire torch. Now you need the soulfire torch to make the lantern, as the recipe is just like the other type of lantern. You put iron ingots around it. So the torch itself is similar to the regular torch, except you put a soul soil on the bottom, and then that makes 4 of these soulfire torches. So I've changed the time to night so you can see the difference in the light sources here. You'll notice these don't emit as strong a light. That's because the light level of this lantern is 10 and this torch over here is 10 as well. Whereas a regular torch will emit light level 14 and a regular lantern light level 15. Now I think this is absolutely fantastic. We have 3 new light sources, including the shroomlight. Ones that emit a little less is certainly interesting, giving you more control over the light in your environment. And the shroomlight, by the way, is light level 14, which is the same as glowstone. And let me correct myself, there is of course another new light source. Now regular fire emits light level 15, and this stuff emits light level 10, which I really like. Plus, it kind of looks amazing, you know. Let's now take a quick look at the Hoglin, and I can't say too much about this mob because I don't think it's fully implemented yet. You can't breed it, and I've seen the developers showing us breeding these creatures, and if I go and attack it, like, it doesn't come after me, and its legs flap around at a crazy speed. And that gas just made blue fire, didn't it? Huh. So I think we're going to have to wait a while to learn more about the Hoglin, as it doesn't seem fully implemented yet. It does drop rotted flesh, and it has 40 hit points, which is 20 hearts, the same as a player. But other than that, there isn't really much to comment on at the moment. So my friends, we have seen the bulk of the changes in this snapshot. There are a few more things though, including bug fixes, some related to redstone, which I hinted at earlier on in this video. The reality is, it's a little bit late here. I'm actually sick and under the weather. I have been for a few days, and I really feel like I just want to wrap this video up right now. I've enjoyed checking out the snapshot, and what I'll probably do is make a follow-up video looking at the bug fixes and technical changes. So we're actually going to wrap this one up right here. I apologise for not including everything, but you know, sometimes you're ill, and I want to go to bed. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao for now. Bye bye.